Hey guys, welcome back to ArtosisCasts. We're going to be going into our third game in this 9-game series between CKI and Bishop. Right now tied up 1-1. We had an amazing 5-factory play from Bishop in the first game. Second game, DTs without detection. He got ahead of the mines. It seems like Bishop definitely misread what was going on. It's actually a little bit of a funny thing that very top-end players sometimes fall to cheeses that lower-end players absolutely never will or won't as often because they only play against other top players, right? So Bishop, like, mostly just plays against the very best players in the world, and they never do builds like that, really. But when you go down in the ladder into, like, lower S, A rank, B rank, that type of thing, you hit stuff like that all the time, and it's very obvious that you're like, okay, siege mode and turret is the only things I need because this is a stupid all-in, and it's either DT or mass range goon, right? And then Bishop is playing, he's playing a little bit too fancy. He's like, well, I mean, that doesn't make sense. Why would you do that? It'd be a terrible build. If I have detection, you lose. And it's like, yeah, but that's what it is. It is a funny thing. And, you know, I talked before in one of these videos about how sometimes the metagame goes from the bottom to the top. This isn't one of those cases, but it is a similar thing where it's like, yeah, this is like a cheese that a worse player actually would have stopped. Because sometimes players that aren't as strong will look and be like, I wouldn't lose to that. Am I as good as Bishop? Well, you're not as good as Bishop, but like, yeah, you might not have lost that actually. If that makes sense, right? Those reads on the stupid cheeses are a little bit better at lower levels sometimes. Anyways. Just thought that was kind of funny. Looking at this game, we have an offensive gas right away. We're on Blitz Y. I think Blitz Y, again, has been a pretty good map. Two-player maps are statistically very, very, very Protoss favored, and that's mostly because of stealing the gas. You just put Terran into a tough position with that, where you're dictating everything. Now this map in particular, I've talked a lot about how the pushes can be very strong and very good, but it seems like the carrier rushes are so strong here that some pro Terrans are starting to really not care for the map in TVP. Now, obviously it's a two-player map, so it was already kind of tough, but I've been very public in saying I think it's the best two-player map for Terran that we've had in a very, very long time, because the other ones are unbelievably hard to do anything, but here, you have this nice push path that kind of protects the Terran army. But yeah, there's like a lot of fast carrier builds here, and I'll be interested to see if CKI uses any of those. Now, he did the offensive gas. We have the offensive eBay over here to slow the Nexus, so that's good. And yeah, CKI should be able to get his Nexus down now. He's just keeping Bishop busy with a Zealot. It's only one, and Bishop's not going to be too nervous because he knows the second one stayed at home to cancel the engineering bay, right? So that engineering bay doing a lot of heavy lifting for Bishop right now. It allows him to get his command center down in a similar time to the Nexus, and it keeps one of the Zealots off his back for a little bit. Because once the second Zealot runs in, like if this has high health, like the thing is the second Zealot would already be in here. Imagine if there were 2 Zealots in here chasing this stuff around. You don't even have a proper SimCity to deal with that. They would just flank. And in fact, even without, he gets these very, very low. Look, another Zealot coming in. Bishop, ooh, his Marine walks up and takes some damage there. Looks like he does kill that Zealot. The other one running up. And yeah, it doesn't look like he's going to get anything done. Plenty of Marines out here. Now, there is an issue, okay? Like, he's holding the Zealots and he's doing a good job. You might want to counterattack here. Because look at what's going on across the map. The gas is up. He is making some more Zealots, and okay, a Cybernetics core on the way. But this is like the latest kill on a gas ever. He should probably think about taking this gas as well. Yeah, see, so he's going to take both to like kind of half the amount of time it takes to get his factory out after those because that's so late to clear him. He's also doing the counterattack. I suggest he's bringing 4 SCVs. I think this is a very good middle of the road, middle ground, I guess, of what you can do in this situation. Yeah, the bunker, I love to see it. That's what you want. Shield battery coming up for CKI. He's going to bring his probes and Zealots up. 2 of them are out now, and he does have that shield battery. So I think denying the bunker is pretty important here. He's going really far beyond his shield battery, but the Marines are pretty low, so I get it in a way. Okay, yeah, that worked out. That worked out actually pretty well. He lost a couple of probes, not a big deal. And the bunker actually finished. So during all that micro, he didn't get the cancel on that, which is a little bit unfortunate because you definitely do not want that. That seems like a waste of money. Now, he actually did not end up taking this gas. Instead, he just cleared and got this gas. He will be able to start his factory. Oh, an academy. Okay, so the academy here, you gotta get a second gas going if you're gonna go academy. Now there's a couple different things. Number one, you could go actually marine range. Marine range Marines in a bunker with the range upgrade are the same range as Dragoons with range. So you can actually do this. This used to be something that people tried out a lot. Like this was kind of my go-to build was a range rush after people stole my gas when stealing gas first became a thing, you know, 20 years ago. Holy shit. But it's not that strong. It's pretty expensive. Here, I think he's just going to get it for the comm stats to check out what the tech is because he doesn't want to be sitting here going siege mode and turrets and having to turtle up heavily. Taking a look, it is going to be Reaver tech, right? The robo's up here, the support bay and the natural. We'll see where he scans. I'll catch them as they come out. So it is important to see what he's going to be playing against here. And we should be hearing that first scan probably soon. Sometimes you actually hold it if you think it might be a DT rush. Oh, no, there it is. And he sees the robo. Okay, and he sees the tech into, Reavers. Okay, so he knows it's Reaver. Throws down an offensive eBay here to block this possible nexus. Now, you know he's going shuttle, so like he may try to expand down there as well. That is a possibility. Double add-on. Armory. Engineering bay. Yeah, this is all very standard, very normal stuff from Bishop. It's exactly what you want to see. What I'm interested in is the follow-up here. What is the follow-up for CKI? 2 more gates, so he's going 4-gate robo. Okay, so 4-gate Reaver, very standard stuff. This is going to be good against like incoming pushes and stuff. But normally you want to make a 3rd nexus with this. So we'll see where he wants to make that 3rd nexus. He is getting the shuttle speed. I almost call it Reaver speed every game. Because, like, that's really what it is, right? It makes it so your Reavers can get around quickly. But yeah, shuttle speed coming. Very good turret placement. You definitely do need, like, a turret ring on this map. Your main base is a little bit too large to deal with otherwise. A couple siege tanks coming out. Might want to throw down a single Goliath as well. I think just constant siege tank production, but 1 Goliath to go with your missile turrets is going to be very, very smart if he goes for that. You need to put a siege tank up here as well. Otherwise, the Reaver can harass your front wall. Oh, 2 Goliaths. Okay. Well, I mean, that's fine. You know, everything is, at the end of the day, somewhat stylistic choices in Brood War. Okay, so it looks like the 3rd Nexus is going to be taken here. In my opinion, weakest 3rd Nexus spot on the map. Because Terran should be aiming for a big push. Like, he should be going into at least 5 factories, range Goliaths, siege tanks, vultures, all the good stuff. Now, hold on. He's actually coming in with a drop, so I'll talk about that later. Okay, drops out the Reaver. Let's see what type of damage. Goes after that turret immediately. He's trying to put some damage on the turret so that he can actually get back out without losing everything. Ooh, a dudded Scarab there, unfortunately. Oh, no. He's going to end up losing everything. Oh, not a bad last shot, right? Not a bad last shot considering. And he actually will get out with the shuttle. So the Zealot did its job. It took out the turret. Not the absolute best Reaver, but actually really not that bad at the end of the day. 38 workers against 50 is pretty legit for CKI. All right, 5 factories for Bishop. He hasn't started speed or mines yet. Those are 2 upgrades he definitely does need. I believe he has Goliath. No, he hasn't started Goliath range. Oh, no! It's going to be a while before he has all the upgrades that he really wants. Okay. This position. Take a look, right? So we have speed shuttles still being made, adding pylons probably for more gateways. 4-gate production, Reavers coming out, 3rd base, very healthy saturation, right? Like he's got a good probe count. Whereas Bishop over here, this is not as good a position. Now, he's moving out immediately. Could this be a 3rd? No. I think he's just setting up so he doesn't have to push up the hill. You know what? This is actually really smart. Okay, so basically every game on Blitz X turns into 5 factory pushes. Okay? because of the map, right? You want to use this area before they have Psystorm to get up there and do a deadly push. So obviously that's what he wants to do, but normally one of the biggest points of contention are the Reavers sitting here as you push out. But he killed the Reaver, so he immediately went up here and built a turret. I like it. I think this was a smart move. Now, he starts moving up with this push, but look at this. Immediately, CKI comes in. Bishop had no vision of this. He does not have spider mines yet, so the Vulture's not going to be that useful. Sieges up a little bit. A good Reaver hit there. Trying to micro with a very hurt shuttle. Getting great, excellent hits. Great micro on that shuttle with Reaver. He'll end up losing it, but the Reaver does its job for sure, and he's going to clear this entire Bishop army. Bishop trading as efficiently as he can, but he just didn't have any vision. He was starting to push too quickly. I like the idea of coming up here and taking this ground so you don't have to fight uphill against the Reaver, but the fact that he started the push right away, if all of his units had sat here, CKI can't attack up the ramp. That's what had to happen. He had to move up here so that there could be a little bit of a flank and less units here to hold the main push. So really well done. Now, Bishop with the counterplay immediately running into the main base and the natural with Vultures. Sets these Vultures up. Look at this. Trying to set them up in positions that are hard to get as many probes as possible. Microing these two heavily. This one up there just getting what they can. So reduces that probe count at least a little bit. Some good harassment, good counterplay there from Bishop. Now another speed shuttle coming in. A non-stop action-filled game. Double missile turret, so the shuttle gonna take some big damage and go down here probably. Yeah, down it goes. The Reaver gets out though. Let's see what type of kills it can get. Doesn't look like very much, unfortunately. Gets one decent hit on 2 tanks, but you know, a shuttle, you know, a Reaver and 2 Zealots for damage on 2 siege tanks is no good. So another, a decent victory there for Bishop. He's definitely stopped all the Reaver harassment pretty well. But can he put together some sort of push? The worker count a lot closer than it used to be. He has his +1. He's going for +1 armor. CKI is starting his own upgrades a little bit, but that's not really a hugely impactful thing. He's going up to 6 gates right now. He has his Templar archives. Look at this. See, Bishop now kind of setting up a position. He's more wary. He knows that there's probably a big army out. He's not sure where it's going to come from. Lays a few mines. I think this is one of the most important things about Blitz X. It's very good to put turret, mines, and 1 siege tank here because counterattacks in through here are very, very common against the 5-factory push, right? So you want like mines and turret here, mines and turret here, and then you can kind of push up. And if they try to counterattack, at least you have time to respond to that. So I love seeing the mines. We'll see if he does any more than that. The offensive eBay finally doing its job of slowing a Nexus. That's kind of a late one. The Vulture going to be cleared, and he is going to be able to clear that engineering bay as well. Bishop pushing up. You know, Zealot speed is out, so that's something you do have to watch out for very carefully. Psystorm's on the way. Now, I was saying you want to do these fast pushes through here because you want to do them before Psystorm is out. Very important. This general area is like the width of a Psystorm to 2 Psystorms in every spot. This is like 1 Psystorm. Here's 2. This is like 1.5. So like Psystorms butcher armies that are coming through here. Butcher them, right? So you got to get through there before those Psystorms are ready. And Psystorm is just about to be ready. I don't know if he has a speed shuttle with High Templars in it. Let's check. Zealots. So not yet. He doesn't have those loaded up yet for those powerful Psystorms. Continuing to rally up. Lots of units coming, still on 5 factories, no other tech. Okay, so he is pushing hard on this Nexus, and it looks like he's going to get it. Are you going to try to break this as CKI? He has a lot of supply, but this is a very hard area to attack into. Okay, it looks like he is, in fact, going to go. Shuttles coming in. He's going to push back at least the frontal siege tanks. Unloading his shuttles. They're being targeted by Bishop very quickly indeed. And there's that Psystorm I was talking about, right? Looks like he only gets 1 high-quality Psystorm out. He's got to pull back. This is going to be too cost-inefficient. Oh, no. You know what? He's going to still break it. There's not that many siege tanks back here. So a little bit cost-inefficient with the goons, but it doesn't matter if he saves the Nexus, right? Like, if he can just kill off these siege tanks, really stop this push dead in its tracks, that's an advantage for CKI. All right, worker count, very similar. 3 base versus 2 base. Bishop, do you continue to push? He doesn't have many units here, and look at the amount of speed zealots coming in to fight him. That is a lot. They do have that +1 attack now as well to counteract this +1 armor on the siege tanks. And Bishop's just got to pull back. This is looking terrible for our Terran player. Looks like an observer was going in there. Nothing too big. Pulls him back into the mines. Okay, good pullback. Good defensive mines there. The Zealots take a bunch of damage and turn around. Bishop throws down his 3rd command center. Okay, heavy gateway production here for CKI. Now, how do you play this game from here? Because this is what I want to say. The map, when you look at it, if Terran gets into a reasonable macro position here, it's a thin map. When we zoom out, you can see the entire width of it, right? So if you hold this area, if you have anti-air here, and you put units like siege tanks with mines and turrets here, you've cut the map in half, right? You can siege both of these bases from your base. You can't do anything against that one, right? So, like, you can really keep the Protoss on a small amount of bases, but carriers here beat everything if you can get into those carriers. So it's a balance of, like, okay, let's maybe in the late game cut up the map, right? We can think about that, but you have to watch for carrier switches. Very, very important. Now, Bishop is trying to move forward again. He's actually got very similar supply to what we see from CKI. He's still just on the 5 factories, so that's like... That's kind of surprising that he has so much supply in comparison. Like, I guess CKI really spent a lot of his army breaking through those siege tanks. You know, when I was kind of up and down about whether or not he should be doing that, at the end of the day, was that a good play? I still think it was reasonable to clear those like that. Now, pushing forward, we have High Templars coming in maybe for a flank, maybe for a harassment. Not entirely sure. Looks like he's going to try to thread the needle here before that turret gets done. Nah, turns around. Doesn't want to lose 4 High Templars for nothing. The Vulture's getting in. This 3rd base in some trouble. If you lose this, dude, Bishop can come right back into this game. Like, look at this. Bishop, I think, is actually getting ahead right now. Losing all these probes. Like, this Nexus is done, but he doesn't have probes there. Now we're going to have the attack in, but already the probe damage has mostly been dealt. Drops out some Psy Storms. Look at the spread from Bishop. He's really got an excellent spread here. He drops out some more High Templar. Okay. Yeah, gets some good ones in there, as you can see. A lot of very damaged siege tanks, but the Zealot count not super, super high. And the siege tanks splattering just about everything. This Nexus looks like it's going to fall. What a comeback here from Bishop. He was definitely behind. He was definitely in a hard position, but now that he's killing this base and suddenly CKI's probes are very low, he's mined out in his main, so it's like 2 base versus 2 base, right? Kind of similar as far as mining goes. That's generally always Terran favored, unless it's like a carrier fleet once again, right? But we don't see that carrier fleet. This can be one of the tricky things. It's like, do you go for that gateway army to stop the 5-fact push? Do you try to get up into carriers to have that stronger late game? And it seems like the gateway army has not done it here for our Chinese Protoss player. So it looks like he is rotating around with his army a little bit, looking at the defense down here. You know, it's a moderate defense. He's still got the bunker with units. He's got some mines. Don't forget he's got his units rallying out so he can kind of reinforce areas. Laying a good amount of mines here. Probably should spread these siege tanks. You know, we know Psy Storm's out, so like something bad could happen there, but like it's not that scary. It's not a very big army roaming the map down here right now. Although Bishop, of course, can't know the full extent of it. A lot of Zealots, a lot of High Templars. Yeah, I think Bishop's going to be able to take this. It looks like we might get some heavy storm drops coming in. Some bad weather for these SCVs. And that can be a good play, but I think a counter push kills him then if he loses all of his Psy Storm. He needs... Excuse me. He needs good, high-quality Psy Storms to have a chance to break this. Look at this spread, by the way. This is Zealot Bomb City in here. He doesn't know that, of course. The observers have been scanned to be killed multiple times. So, like, there could be Goliaths in there. He's not entirely sure. Just want to throw that out there. Oh, my God. This is your 4th base? It actually kind of makes sense. He just keeps the right side of the map completely turtled. Doesn't want to push out here into where bigger gateway armies have good surface area. I like it. It makes a lot of sense. Now, here comes that High Templar drop. Oh, God. Not enough. Not enough. He's losing 4 High Templars. and kills maybe 6 SCVs. That was not the drop he was looking for. Just good targeting there from Bishop with his 2-2 upgrades. The push continues to go down. This is the first time I've seen a Terran expand there, by the way. You know, in retrospect, it seems like I should have seen it by now with the amount of Blitz X games I've been casting and playing and whatnot. But yeah, that is very interesting. Feels like you could harass that from just about anywhere. But what a good turtled position this is as well. I think CKI has like 1 push left in him, and he needs to do something big. Like if he could clear this, like get rid of this base and stop the reinforcements, I could see a victory from there. I think that's what he's got to try. I don't think there's anything else that can give him, you know, a possibility of winning the game. All right, he's going to walk forward. Tries to bring in a flanking shuttle, but gets picked off really quickly. Excellent targeting on these shuttles, and in fact, does get pushed back immediately by these siege tanks. Just not enough zealots in there as well. Ton of units up here, having a hard time coming down to help. Well, I mean, this is most of his army, so he should be utilizing that as well. Maybe if all those units had been down here, I feel like he could have broken this, but obviously that's, you know, part of Bishop's plan here is he's containing. It's one of the biggest ways to beat Protoss is try to contain their main base and natural. So here we go. He is attacking up now. Gonna go ahead, storm down a lot of these. Hey, he's actually clearing the tanks pretty well. Zealot's running up. Okay, kills some more tanks. But can he go all the way back through this line? I don't think so. More storms going down, and GG is called. Bishop takes the 3rd game and will go up 2-1.